I'm Francesca Maxime.
And I'm Matt McClure, and this is Currents. How the church is trying to offer to help in hard times.
As Christians, it's what we're called to do. As humans, it's what we're called to do.
A unique calling for this Brooklyn woman.
It's very countercultural. You would think that this would be something that wouldn't be.
And Lino Rulli takes a leap of faith.
You got to take your left hand off the rock, so you just got to lean back.
Good Friday evening to you. Well, some good news today on the economic front.
For a change.
Yeah, that's nice to hear, right? The unemployment rate fell for the first time since April. Still, though, times are tough. 9.4% of the population does remain without work. They don't have a job. So where can people turn? Some people are turning to their local parishes, and they're finding help through Catholic Charities. They have actually provided some funding to help develop some programs to help people who've lost their jobs.
Absolutely. The Matthew 25 Project is Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens' response to the economic crisis. Now, they provided grants to parishes to help their parishioners and communities hard hit by the economic crisis. The Matthew 25 Project takes its name from the 25th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew, which actually deals with helping others. Funds are awarded to parishes for workshops, job training, and emergency assistance. Now, our own Natalia Ortiz actually visited one parish benefiting from that program. It's St. Mary Help of Christians in Woodside, Queens.
Difficult economic times are upon us, and in response, Catholic Charities created the Matthew 25 Project to soften the blow within the Diocese of Brooklyn. The program gave $250,000 to parishes in order to help families in need, and St. Mary's in Woodside has already put their portion of the funds to use.
How's the Matthew 25 Project helping expand or perhaps just sustain the services that you offer here?
The Matthew 25 Project through Catholic Charities was $18,000, and that was given so that we can continue our pantry efforts to make the food go on.
St. Mary's Food Pantry has been around for almost 2 decades, but the need for their assistance has risen dramatically in the last year and a half. That is why the recent Matthew 25 grant is playing such a large role in their mission. This trailer was donated to St. Mary's Food Pantry by the Josephine Foundation. And funds from the Matthew 25 project allowed for this shelving and a refrigeration system to be installed. The added resources are intended to expand the service St. Mary's offers to struggling families, which according to La Pola increased from 20 to 200 per week. Ramona Santana is a mother of 2 and one of those people who recently began asking for help.
Cada día la cosa se pone más y más precaria. Más para la madre de familia, que tenemos que darle el pan a los niños, porque ellos van a la escuela y cuando vienen, ellos no preguntan, mami, ¿hay comida? Ellos lo que quieren es comer desde que llegan. No preguntan, ¿cómo tú compraste la comida?
But La Pola says not everyone is as pragmatic when it comes to asking for help.
Do you think there are people out there that need the help that won't ask for it, and why?
They are in denial about needing the help. They haven't come to terms with that yet, or they're embarrassed.
Still, the volunteers at St. Mary's Food Pantry strive to make people feel comfortable by being discreet, especially because many of the people are illegal immigrants.
Our families are primarily Hispanic from South America. We have Mexican, we have Peruvian, Ecuadorians, Colombians. We also have a lot of the Asian communities.
According to La Pola, the recent surge in people is due to male day laborers who find themselves unemployed because of the economic crisis.
It's difficult for anyone, and I just imagine that it is harder for the men. I know in some situations it's harder for them to look at you in the eye, you know, and I think the culture is part of that. In the Hispanic culture is more the man is, you know, strong and the provider, and obviously they're having a hard time coming through on that part right now.
And in order for St. Mary's to come through for these men, they've customized a food pantry system to meet the needs of this new demographic.
Our day laborers need food that they can either eat out of the can or out of the package, or needs minimal preparation. They don't have cooking facilities, maybe they just have a microwave. So we need to address that kind of situation.
And by working here, one of the volunteers is getting a customized benefit of her own.
And it's also helping me emotionally stay strong as a dialysis patient.
How does this help you stay strong?
Offering help makes me spiritually strong, so I could continue a decent living. I don't want to just be a helpless, hopeless person in a corner.
And La Pola's purpose for taking this project on is clear.
I do this because it's what we're called to do. As Christians, it's what we're called to do. As humans, it's what we're called to do. It feeds us, it nurtures us, and if you've been there, it's that much more important to give. And it's healing. It's healing. God touches us in amazing ways, and He touches us most when we're reaching out.
Very good work that those people are doing there at St. Mary Help of Christians in Woodside. Well, Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens has community centers in our area where people can go for help, and we've actually posted some more information about that on our blog. Just head on over to netny.net/currents. Click on Riding the Wave. There's more Currents straight ahead. Later on, a rare vocation that you may not be aware of.
And morality and business are not mutually exclusive.
We just ask certain questions regarding ethical conduct, human life, human rights, stewardship of the environment.
Welcome back to Currents. I'm Francesca Maxime.
And I'm Matt McClure. Now, coming up a little bit later on, Lino Rulli takes a flying leap. But first, let's check the day's headlines. Sonia Sotomayor will be sworn in to the Supreme Court tomorrow. The Senate confirmed her nomination Thursday. 9 Republican and the 2 independent senators voted with the Democratic majority in approving Sotomayor, as she is the first Hispanic on the High Court, the 3rd woman, and the 6th Catholic. New York Archbishop Timothy Dolan is the latest to weigh in on health care reform, calling it a good thing. He tells the Catholic news agency, though, that if that reform leads to destroying human life, it's no longer health care.
From Colorado now, a priest is under arrest after illegally entering a missile silo. Father Carl Kabat has been protesting at nuclear sites for 25 years. The 75-year-old priest has been sent to jail for at least 3 similar incidents. Turning now to the Vatican, Pope Benedict recently reflected on his latest encyclical, Caritas in Veritate, that business leaders as well as consumers need to ensure that they put ethics before profit. As we hear from Rome Reports, there are organizations out there whose mission is just that.
You could use your money to make a wise investment and at the same time change the current business culture for the better. That's the main idea behind the Fidelis International Institute of Rome, dedicated to promoting ethical practices in the world of business. This institution guides investors in deciding if an investment is worth their money in a certain company.
When we receive a name of a company from a potential investor, we just ask certain questions regarding ethical conduct. We have 9 major criteria regarding human life, human rights, stewardship of the environment, cooperation with corrupt governments, and few others.
The Institute has studied 600 companies. They've identified the ones that practice unethically as well as the ones that promote practices that benefit the environment, the poor, and the family.
One example would be flexibility of work. For instance, working from home or working part-time, or having a right to extended paternity leave or maternity leave. Another would be some financial benefits for families, like vouchers for kids, or having a kindergarten next to a work of place, or having insurance for entire family, or having a retirement plan for the good of the family.
The Institute also offers courses, publishes books and articles, and conducts academic research in business ethics because they're interested in educating leaders that practice these values at work.
We found a very alarming practice that also was part of the causes of this crisis, which is the short-term oriented profit seeking of the companies, and especially of the directors and CEOs of the companies, where this short-term approach, which is mentioned also on the encyclica, forbids the company to look on a long term for the benefit of their shareholders and also for the benefit of the whole society.
Fidelis International Institute has a 12-person team with locations in Italy, Spain, United States, and Mexico. They say that the more often companies get excluded from funds for ethical reasons, the more they will be motivated to change their practices.
Well, it will not be business as usual for Madonna if a group of Polish Catholics have anything to say about it. The singer has a concert scheduled for next Saturday. That is the same day as the Feast of the Assumption of Mary. The concert also falls on the day Poles celebrate a 1920 victory in the Polish-Soviet War. The head of the organization opposed to the Material Girls concert date called Madonna perverse. He told a French newspaper Madonna would be scandalous and show off her body on what is a special day for Poles. Well, stay tuned. There's much more current straight ahead.
Coming up, she has a rare vocation and tells us all about it.
People that are my own blood don't understand it all the time.
It is one of the oldest vocations in the church and one of the rarest, the consecrated virgin. If you're scratching your head wondering what the heck we're talking about, just sit tight.
That's right. There are only about 250 of them in the United States, as a matter of fact, and only 2 in the Brooklyn Diocese. Now, we're about to meet one of them right now. Tonight, Angela Scanapieco is consecrated virgin, and she is our eyewitness.
For me, my faith is the whole reason for my existence. It's the foundation of my life. It's everything I do is because of my faith. Being consecrated means being set aside. We live in the world and we serve Christ as women living in the world. It's a struggle every day because, you know, being consecrated doesn't make you canonized. You know, it's one of those things where you still have to struggle and you live in the world and you have to deal with people that everybody else has to deal with. The day of the consecration was January 28th, 2001. It was the happiest day of my entire life. It really was. It was a nerve-wracking day because you want to make sure you make all the right steps and stand in the right place. But to kneel in front of the bishop and to really make that public commitment, there's not really words that can describe it. It was like a bride on her wedding day. It's just really a beautiful, beautiful thing to just know that, okay, this is a day. You know, if you really want me, Lord, I'm all yours. One of the most rewarding experiences, I would say, is just to be able to work with young people. They're hungry, they're really hungry for the truth, and they want it. If you offer them the truth, they're going to take it and run with it. And I've seen it happen many, many times. We do a little prison ministry. We're talking about Christ's passion, about how much Christ loves us. And it's hard to tell young people that are stuck in a prison that Christ loves them, you know. But you tell them that he knows exactly what you're going through. He was there. He was in prison. And, you know, the eyes light up and it's like, wow, he really did. So when you're feeling that, you can go to him and you can talk to him. And you don't have to say formal prayers. And you can say, look, how did you make it through this? The way you live your life, the way you carry yourself, the way you treat other people, the gentleness of Christ has to show through me. And a lot of times it's very countercultural. You would think that this would be something that wouldn't be, but it is countercultural that, you know, that you're living your life this way and you made this choice, and, you know, and people that are my own blood don't understand it all the time. So, but I'm there and I'm doing what I have to do, and there isn't a thing I could think of that I would be missing. When you say, God, I'm all yours, and he says, okay, you know, I'm going to take whatever you need, even things you don't know you need, he gives you. It hasn't been like, you know, I walk down the street and rose petals fall down. That don't happen. But but I'm sure every single day that I am in the right place. And that's another reason why I'm sustained every day, because I'm where I'm supposed to be. And you just know it. You know, it's hard to say how you know it, but you do. You just know it.
Angela Scannapieco, tonight's Eyewitness.
Well, that's something that often I think people don't even think about as a consecrated virgin. A lot of people don't even know what they are, but it does bear noting that she, of course, is involved in Youth 2000, which we did a story on last night,
right.
And you saw her kind of working with kids there, and she's just very involved in that type of work.
Yeah, and also obviously with the prison ministry with the youth that she was talking about. And what did she just say? The rose petals don't fall out
right.
of the sky or something.
Well, she was she was making the comment that God will, if you give, as she says, if you give yourself completely over to God, then He'll give you what you need. Mm-hmm. She's not exactly preaching the Joel Osteen prosperity gospel or anything, but
sure, it's not like there's money on the trees that you can just pluck
exactly.
off. But at the same time, she's fine and moving right along, and good for her.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned. We have much more Currents coming up straight ahead.
Coming up, Lino Rulli on this rock, but not for long.
This is seriously the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
Welcome back. Our Lino Rulli hosts a regular feature here on Currents called The Catch of the Day. But before he found stardom here on the net, Lino hosted a show in Minnesota, and it was called Generation Cross. Now, throughout the summer, we've been showing you some classic clips from that show.
And they have been quite memorable.
They have.
Lino has probably been told more than once or twice, perhaps, to jump off a cliff. And in this next piece, he does just that. Well, not quite jump. Take a look at what happened when he went rock climbing with Father Andrew Cousins, a seminary professor in St. Paul, Minnesota.
This is one way I really like to hang out. You know, Lino, I'm kind of a guy who likes challenges, in case you haven't figured that out. It's one of the reasons I decided to become a priest. I figured it was about the biggest challenge I could find. Now see, Lino, this is the beauty about rock climbing. It teaches trust. Trust is such an important thing in our relationship with God. Basically, what I want to do now is get you set up so you can go over and experience this great, this great little leap of faith, Lino.
It's too big of a leap of faith for me. I don't think I've got this much faith in my life. All right, now I'm telling you, I've got the biggest fear of heights, biggest fear of water. So this is not a joke.
Okay, now Lino, let me explain to you one rule about rock climbing. I like to call it the Trinity rule.
Okay.
The thing is, you know, the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Sure.
You always have three things to catch you when you fall. Okay, so you can see here.
Let me guess, the ground, the tree, and maybe another large rock.
No, but just in case one of them doesn't hold, we've got not one backup, but two backups, okay?
Okay. Does vomit speed up on its way down?
Lino, look. Really, I'm a priest. I wouldn't have you do this if I wasn't sure that it was safe, okay?
Oh, great. The canoers are going to watch me fall to my death as well. Jeez, not only a viewing audience, but actual canoers.
Now, Lino, do you know who the patron saint of rock climbers is?
Well, I'm sure he's dead, unfortunately. No, I don't.
Of course, that's because all saints have died.
I know.
No, the patron saints of rock climbers did not die rock climbing. His name is Pier Giorgio Frassati. Blessed Giorgio Frassati, pray for us.
Absolutely never been this afraid in my life.
Don't look down. Look at me.
All right.
Here we go. Now you're gonna, when you get out there, you want to spread your legs a little bit. So just keep backing up a little bit. There you go. Keep backing up. Keep backing up. There you go.
See, it's when we're the most afraid that we realize God is the most important.
That's true.
All right. I can't get that first.
Can you get that? See your left foot. You see that ledge behind you?
Yeah.
Can you put your left foot on that ledge? There you go. Now lean back. This is the trust part. This is beautiful. You're doing great.
You're kidding me. This is seriously the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
It is the best. Stand up and lean back. That's what you got to do. You got to take your left hand off the rock, so you just got to lean back more.
But if I lean back, I'm going over the rock.
That's right. You got to sit back. There you go. You're okay. I got you. Hold your right hand. Perfect. You're doing it, Lino. Lino, you are rappelling. You are beautiful.
Oh
this
my God, are we up high?
Now, is this fun?
Whoa. Well, that wasn't fun. Oh,
I still
being held up by my groin right now. All right, here we go.
Are you there, Lino?
I think I did it, Father Andrew. I'm there. Did you see the cut? Did you see what I've done to myself? Look at this. Look at this. I've got nobody to save me from myself. Can you believe that? I'm telling you, this ain't easy. It looks easy, but it ain't easy.
Okay, you're gonna belay me now.
All right.
This is the part where I trust my life into your hands.
That's right. For what reason, I have no idea.
Now I'm gonna start climbing. Now the other thing, there's another lesson that rock climbing teaches us, Lino.
Yeah?
It's about falling. In the Christian life, when we try something, we fall like this. Oh. But there's always somebody there to catch us.
Oh. And if you're lucky, it wouldn't be somebody like me straining his brains out right now.
So now I'm gonna ask you to trust me with your life.
Didn't I already trust you with my life one time today?
Yeah.
We really need to keep playing this game. It's like testing God. I don't think it's necessary to always do it.
Now don't climb any faster than your rope.
Okay.
Now just think, Lino, after this is all over, you're gonna be able to tell people how much fun it was hanging out with a priest today.
They won't believe me.
Oh, falling!
Oh, this is fun.
Put your hands out.
Well, that was more fun than I expected. Oh, jeez.
Put your hands out, Lino. That's what happens when you fall. That's good. Now you want to put your feet on the ground.
Whoa, hey now.
Congratulations, Lino.
Up belay. All right, that feels a little better. Oh, Nelly.
Congratulations, Lino. You really did a great job.
Father Andrew, thanks so much. Wow, that was something else.
Beautiful day out here, Lino.
It was.
Now tell me, did you learn anything?
No, did you?
Well, sure. You can learn lots of things rock climbing. You learn about trust. You learn about faith. You learn about what it means when you take a fall and somebody catches you.
That's true.
So I just got one final question. Do you trust me now?
No.
Oh, he cracks me up. He was so scared.
I know. Well, that would be me though, because I mean, I was telling you earlier, I have a fear. Thank you. My goodness, why can't I talk? No, I think I'm just so shaken up by the whole thing. No, I have a fear of heights, and I'm not as afraid of water. I don't guess as Lino probably, but the fear of heights thing, I mean, that would totally be me.
I'll take any challenge. I mean, I've already done that, the rock climbing, the belaying, all that kind of stuff. I flew the F-16 with the Air Force Thunderbirds and pulled about 9 Gs.
You're a much braver person than I.
I'm ready for it. I want to go skydiving and all that kind of stuff. I'm ready for it.
Have at it. If they ever want you to do that for the station, you go and you have fun. And you can go solo on that one.
All right. Well, earlier in the show, we met Angela Scanapieco, a consecrated virgin, and on Monday we'll see what happens when Lino catches up with her. We have that and much more on Monday's edition of Currents.
Hopefully she won't push him off a cliff or anything like that. Remember, you can always catch us online. Just go to netny.net/currents. While you're there, let us know what you think of the show. You can drop us a line at that's all one word, at currentsny.net.
And we do want to hear from you, so email us. Well, that is all for this edition of Currents. And for all of us right here, I'm Francesca Maxime.
And I'm Matt McClure. Have a great weekend.